Why do we put standards on each other? You got the females saying, men, you got to have so much money. And you got the men over here like, can you cook? Why? Especially in 2024. Please, for the love of God, somebody tell me. I mean, what kind of society are we in 2024 where that's on the dinner plate, that conversation? When it comes to the female side, quite frankly, I don't really understand it. Why on earth would you, as a female, be worried about what a man can bring to the table financially? I'm not saying not to worry about it. I'm saying, why are you putting such a bar and a standard on it? But you ain't got no bar or standard by the type of man you want, the type of love you want him to give you, the type of family you want him to be the concrete for. You're over here about money. What type of man do you want to build a family with? What type of man do you want to build? Who knows what you can build in a however long time span, going 30 to 50 years. But you want him to have it all put together right when you get together. You don't want to build it with him. You don't want to grow it with him. You don't want to nurture it with him. You don't want to plant it with him. You don't want to do any of these things with him. You want him to just have it already. What? Can we snap back into reality? Honey, can you even make that? You want to sit here and tell a man how much money he needs to make a year for him to access you, for him to have your time, just to go and enjoy some dinner and have a conversation. You already put a standard on them, and you don't even know them, but you'll wide open to somebody that has how many zeros in their bank account again, and you just wide open for them. You just want that attention. Just come here screaming for it. What, because you want the easy route? What kind of woman wants the easy route? It ain't never been easy for us. Huh? Shoot, the moment we done got our hormones going and that period coming out, that's when everything just went south. Sit here and tell men in 2024 acting like you ain't got the resources, the options, you can go anywhere you want, any state you want, do whatever you want option. Meanwhile, how much money you got in your bank account? And you're over here making a man have a standard in which you're not even able to make. What kind of priorities are those? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you need your Louis Vuitton bag? I'm sorry. Yeah, you might need a guy that makes blah, blah, blah so you can have a $100,000 bag. And then what are you going to teach your kids? What? To be spoiled like you and ungrateful and gimme. A man that makes... I'll be dang if you put me a line of men in front of me and you tell me how much each one of them make. I'll be dang. I try not to use that word, but I'll be dang if I sit there and let my option and what I want my future to be, who I want the father of my child to potentially be, and blase, dictate the number of zeros they got in their bank account. Honey, we can go be rich homeless people. And be rich. Especially in here. Especially in the heart. What really matters. Shoot. I'll build nothing from scratch with you. It can all come down too. And I'll build it again with you. Over here. I want me to have a man that makes $250,000 a year. Men, don't get me started either, though. Don't get me started either. Men over here sitting, yeah, can you cook? And trying to act like we still 100 years ago. Like you are the breadwinner. Like you can't afford to sit there and have your whole family live comfortably while you're at work. Do you have that option? No. So don't sit here and have the words, can you cook, come out your mouth to a woman. Because can you cook? Did your mama teach you how to cook? Because she should have. Just like my mama should have. But she barely knew how to cook. Come out here. Do you know how to cook? Do you know how to run a chainsaw? Do you even know how to start a weed whacker? Do you even know how to mow a zero turn? Can you even start a tractor? Coming out here, can you cook? What you mean, can you cook? Can you build me a house? Can you build me a nice freaking bathtub? Because that's heaven on earth for me. Give me just the best bathtub there is on the planet. There ain't nothing better than that. As long as there's hot water. I'd love jets, but men coming out here. Can you cook? Meanwhile, you got a crazy baby mama. What you mean, can I cook? Can you contain your baby mama? These freaking standards that we put, automatically judging people. Like, look at you. You probably judging me by the way I look right now. If I had a man, I'd probably be able to save up money to look more feminine and have a dress on or have a skirt on, or not to where I got to wear clothes to where I'm busting my butt, or who knows what I got to do getting dirty. I got dirt all over me right now. Can you cook? Do you clean? Do you clean? Do you clean your own piss? Do you clean your own... I ain't got to say the other one. Coming out here, can you cook and can you clean? The only way you should be asking somebody if they can cook and clean is if you can afford to financially keep them at the house regarding whatever debt, whatever bills, whatever situation. If you can afford that to where they can sit there, yeah, I can cook and clean. And if I can't cook and clean, you should be able to afford me learning how to cook and clean. Bring me a professional chef for a week or two. I'll be freaking professional before you know it. You won't even know the difference. Can you cook and can you clean? Who cares if I can't cook or can't clean? You know how easy that is to learn if somebody's teaching them? But not everybody's taught it. Not everybody's parents actually said, hey, honey, let me teach you how to cook and clean. They had their own BS going on too. Both sides of the spectrum, male and female, coming out here having standards and expectations for people, not even giving them a chance to even speak or even know anything about them, judging them automatically by the way they look. Honey, you want to judge me? How much is your rent or mortgage? Because guess what? Mine is zero. I own my house, but it's in a motorhome. Yeah, if I can financially afford better, I would look 100 times better. It's how it goes. That's just how it goes. And I don't need the plastic surgeries to even do it. All I need is some good sleep, some good rest, not being stressed out, not being loaded down with everything that I have to fulfill on my own with no one around me to help me. can you cook and can you clean? Mother effer, don't you go running around asking people, women, if they can cook and clean. If you can't hold a house down. If you can't hold a house down, don't sit here and open your mouth about cooking and cleaning. Because you could teach dogs tricks. You know? Even old dogs, you can still teach them tricks. It's just a willing of if they're trying to learn the trick. Same goes for you men. Are you looking at the heart or are you looking at the body? Are you looking at what clothes they're wearing and how provocative they look? Because women like me, young ladies like me, however, whatever word you want to say, that have a good heart, we perfectly fine chilling at the house. Because we would rather not have our heart hurt and not be judged. Because we don't have financial means or whatever the case is, or meet the standard, the status quo of, oh, you're supposed to look like this nowadays. Yeah, I can go out in public like this, but where I'm at and where I live, ain't nobody gonna talk to me like this. But if I went down to Florida like this, around certain type of people, I had one person, he ain't from Florida, he's an artist, a rapper, country rapper, whatever. One of the first things he said to me, what are you, gay? Excuse me? Does it matter if I'm gay or not? Does it matter? If I had the money to afford it, I'd outshine all these females around here. I'd outshine all these females around here. I'd have a 5-inch layer of makeup on as well, where you can't see no imperfection. And I'd have where my eyes look like cat eyes, greener than green. And both sides of the spectrum. It's like, what happened? Did it really become all about the money? Both sides are hurt. Men, you can blame women. Women, you can blame men. But at the end of the day, who's going to do what? Because it's sad. And I'm 31 years old, and I know what it was like when I was 10 years old. And it's a whole different world. And you think that I want to see these young kids coming up like this? And this is what we teach them? Men want to talk about women, meanwhile men. Don't you got an aunt? Don't you got a mama? Don't you got a grandma? Women want to sit here and talk about men. Don't you got a daddy? Don't you got an uncle? Don't you got a nephew? Don't you got a granddaddy? Don't you got a son? What's wrong with y'all? Mm-mm.